Hey guys, it's Mia. Welcome back to Faith's Blurified Vlog. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you again. And I want you to make sure you follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to work out Threads and Twitter. I'm not calling it what it is now. I'm calling it what it used to be because it's more clever and more nice to say. And I'm also working a little bit on LinkedIn. So just come and follow me on all those social medias. And I'm probably going to leave some links to them all as well. So I left off on my first video about me becoming a childcare teacher and about how my first day's experiences focusing on my training with assistant teachers. Now my video is going to be on what I've been learning in managing classroom on my own. Like I said in the last video, I was super shocked to find out that I was going to be a lead teacher, a teacher that I'm going to be by myself over young 2-year-olds, despite having little to no previous experience working working directly with children. Once again, I said also in my video that I am not going to reveal the name of where I work. I'm not going to reveal the name of my co-workers, my supervisors, or any parents or children. So I'm going to be as very vague as possible. I'm just going to tell you about my experiences and the situations that I had managed. So here we go. So we're on day 3 and I'm managing class by myself. And the class that I have is going to be it's going to be mostly my 2-year-olds. Although I have like a little few cubbies of like kids who have their items that is with name tags. I also have other children in class, but I'm mainly working with a new group of kids this day. And 2 of these kids was on the spectrum, which is something that is huge on me. I don't know if you guys have followed me for a very long time, but I had mentioned a couple times that was an area that I had focused a lot on. So I do have some previous knowledge as someone who had a childhood diagnosis of that. So this was something that was really huge to me. And one of these children, it really, work with these children had made me realize just, how difficult it is. Like, it's kind of strange because, I was someone who grew up, who probably a lot of people would probably have said the same thing, but it's kind of strange being on the other end and seeing how that is happening with another younger child. And, one of these young children, it was a child that I had for the 2 following days in this class, and it really broke my heart that there was a lot of times that he was really frustrated. I could tell he's frustrated. It got really sad, really upset. Like, it makes me sad when a child is sad, but it made me really, really sad that I wasn't able to be able to help this child in any way. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to learn better skills in order to help them. I learned another child that I had I would have to say would be my second day as a lone teacher. She was dropped off. I was reading a book, doing an activity, and her mother came into the classroom to drop off her sleeping bag. You know what? I think that was on Wednesday. You know what? That happened Wednesday. Sorry about that. That was Wednesday. That was the first day as a single teacher. So, the mother had dropped off the sleeping bag, and she was trying to sneak in and drop it off. I didn't know that was her mother. And when she dropped off the sleeping bag, I said hi, introduced myself. This whole entire week, I was trying to introduce myself to parents to let them know that I was a new teacher. And so the mother had left the bag. Her daughter went up to her, said bye. But then, she had to, said bye to the daughter, and, the daughter was upset. She was upset from that moment all the way on. And once again, it was another heartbreaking situation for me. Like, I hated the thing that I realized that I hated so much, that to see a child so upset and me not being able to do anything about it. Like, she was crying for her mom the entire time. Like, we went outside, all the kids went outside to our little playground, behind the classroom, and she just spent the whole time to herself. She didn't want to, run around and play with the kids. It just made me sad that she was so sad. And, there was an experience that I kind of learned from that, was that I, I could suggest to that parent about maybe leaving items at the front desk instead of coming up to the classroom. And, it's just, as I said, it's a learning experience. I'm not an expert. It's just how I was able to pick up with those skills. Another thing that I was learned when working throughout this last week is, like I mentioned in my last video about the curriculum, and I was relieved to know that the curriculum could be, even though it has some kind of, it was activities that we needed to do, there was some flexibility. Like I didn't have, I could be provided, materials for it, but I could also find other materials that could go wrong with it or modify it to make it work, and and just make sure that we record the kids who are doing this activity. Like they have this thing called the Childcare app. I'm pretty sure that if you guys are parents or have worked in the childcare area, they have the Childcare app, and you'll be able to see what your kids are doing, how they're doing, get reports and get notes about what they might need, what could be helping, what could be helpful to them. And I just think it was just really cool being able to utilize that app, be able to track how kids are doing, and be able to let them know what their kids have been working on, throughout that entire time. Another thing that I had learned within my the business or the company I work for is that they have a mentorship program, and I just thank God so much for the mentoring. They told me about the mentorship program. One of the things I struggled throughout my entire endeavors with my blogs, with my different topics of my blogs, was that I didn't really have someone to really, model after. Like I had people that I thought were really cool, who is aesthetic that I really like like Tabitha Brown. I love her in aesthetic, like the beautiful bright colors, but she didn't really line exactly what I was doing. And I had other people that I tried to follow, but I didn't really fit entirely what they were doing. I just liked their aesthetic look. But now that I'm more clear on what I want to do, and knowing that I'm working at a job that really is putting everything they can to be able to help their workers, along with mentoring them, it's just really, really exciting for me. Like I'm not only looking forward to working this job, I'm also really looking forward to learning from it and being able to be the best childcare teacher that I can be. So back to the last 3 days of that week of me being a solo teacher. I mean, the third day I did have like extra teacher, but we were sharing a classroom. Like I was still over my 6. Oh, and also I wanted to tell you that within Ohio, I don't know in other states, but Ohio, they have this thing that's where there's supposed to be a ratio of a number of children over a teacher. So a teacher has to be over at least about 6 or 7 kids at a time. They can't have more than that particular number group. Then that would have lead to another teacher having to be added on. So I was someone who had barely any experience over one child to be looking after 6 children, 6 young children. And especially for between the ages of 1 and 2. And it was just something that I didn't expect. It was super exciting. I never changed diapers before, but I'm changing diapers now. And and I'm going to show my ignorance and say that's not something that you would think to happen at a daycare. But like I didn't work with young kids like that. So I'm really excited for my first week. Like I was really nervous. Like I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous video, but like I said, I am, I don't dislike children. It's just I always been kind of nervous about being, perceived as an authority figure. I spent so much, I go over so many times that I would say things and I feel people aren't really listening. There's times that I, thought about being like the leader, but people just kind of overlooked me. Times people told me, aren't you supposed to know this already? Why don't you know stuff? And yada, yada, yada. Having that little thing, inferiority complex thing going on. Think that I'm always supposed to be the helping person. I'm not supposed to be the type to be giving directions, the type that's supposed to be leading. But I'm surprised at how much it really has taken for me. So, I'm really excited about what more I could do. So I hope you guys have a very, very good day. And I just want to remind you to follow me all on my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm going to try and work on TikTok. That's going to be an adventure in itself. But please follow me. Follow me on, I have like a group on Facebook as well. I'm going to give a link to that. And I'm also having another thing coming soon, but I'm waiting until I get that developed before I announce it. So remember, you guys, to follow me on social media, and to have a blessed and beautiful day.